Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Prison Break. This is the second episode of the second season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in the link in the description below. Just click on it, put the password in, and enjoy. So last episode, it was the reintroduction back into the season. And yes, everybody is still on the run. Police are after them. There's a new detective from the FBI that's been introduced. I think his name is called Alex. He's really clever as well. He's not going to be a pushover. He looks like he's a strategist himself. He was analysing everything that Michael's been doing, looking at his tattoos, his pictures, speaking to, obviously, the tattooist. He was looking at the names and all that stuff that Michael's got printed onto his body. Figured out that, obviously, the English fits and Percy was the streets. You know, he started to look deeper into it, find locations. And, obviously, he's gone after him. He's gone to his house. He's got divers going into the lake to try and extract any data that Michael has been disposed of when he threw it off the balcony. And he's obviously just thinking about the next step that Michael's possibly going to take, and he knows that obviously it was Michael that was the architect of the escape, and everything that they need is currently on his body. All you have to do is sit down and analyze obviously his tattoo, and hopefully that will tell them the location where they're going to go, where they can capture them when they think they're about to escape. So that's really interesting, because that is technically how the episode ended, when this Alex guy was talking to his co-worker. Now Michael, he's still sticking to his plan. You know, he's managed to extract everybody out. They was all running away. BELLICK and Cole didn't catch them. They thought they was hot on their tails, but no, they managed to, you know, dodge them, go to a different location. They thought they found them in one storage facility, but they was in another. Michael went to a grave he had another name tattooed on his body, where he dug it up and it was closed, and it was supplies for everybody to get changed and try to blend in with the general public, which again was really interesting, because, you know, after they got that and a cell phone, Lincoln called Veronica. He was speaking to her. Basically, she was saying she found Terry Stedman. She's called in the police, and, you know, she's going to report it. He's safe. He doesn't have to be on the run anymore. But then, while he was on the phone, we heard that a detective come in, asked Terrence to step aside, and bang, 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 Veronica, just like Nick last season, has been killed for the involvement of this. So, interesting stuff, mate. We've obviously had Veronica killed, Nick killed, couple of other people killed, you know, Letitia Barrett. We've had, obviously, LJ's mum killed as well, and his stepdad, and we're still not seeing him as well with the possible, you know, murder charges that he's facing. So still quite a lot of stuff that's going on. And Teabag, mate, he is sweating his back out. He's gone to a veterinarian, is that what it's called? Basically to ask him to try and stitch his hand back onto his body after putting it into a cooler and running for the whole episode. So that was crazy. I'm excited to see today's episode. If you do enjoy it yourself, please smash a like, it really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into the second episode, the second season of Prison Break.
See if we can get the Mexican Border Patrol to set up checkpoints 50 miles in.
Over at Fox River called, asked to be kept in the loop. What should I tell him?
That he's no longer in it.
We said that he was going to be fully transparent. He's lied. This guy's got something wrong with him. He did see him take some tablets last episode. Reckon what? He's going to jack that vehicle?
Where's Michael? He'll be here. Well, Sucre, maybe you and I should go and get that $5 million. You know what I'm saying? Hey!
They all look crazy, don't they, in the different clothing? They need to give Michael a bit of time, though. He got him out. Do you know what I mean? Stop rushing, man. What is it that he took?
Are you sure you packed everything?
Oh, food. Is that it?
Yummy. Last supper, boys. This is the part where we say goodbye. It's enough to get you started. Not telling you where Fibonacci is.
Well, I didn't ask.
I mean, Michael said that he was going to tell him.
For a quarter for a phone call.
Make 4.
Imagine that pain.
I still have to clean it.
But you're done.
I mean, it does look better than having no hand. He look like he moved a finger.
LJ has a hearing today to determine if he gets tried as an adult. I can get him. Him for a double homicide. As soon as he loses his hearing, they're gonna ship him out to an adult facility. So today in the courthouse is my only chance to...
There's no plan in place.
I know that courthouse. I've been there more times than I can remember.
So you're gonna bum rush the courthouse. That's your plan.
We headed out, man.
I hope you find the girl, buddy.
She's all I have.
Adios.
You got that?
Tell me everything you know about the courthouse.
They're obviously going, surely they're not going to get him out. Like, I kind of want them to get caught, or one of them. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I think it's a a bad play. But then obviously it's a TV show and it's probably going to work. Now the interesting thing is, you know, he said that he's been there loads of times and he knows that only like one person's guarding it. So if that is technically true, they'd be able to kind of dip in, maybe knock him out and grab him. Now again, another interesting thing is LJ is going to be back in the season, which is good because I actually just said then I kind of wanted him to get caught, but now I'm going to go back on what I've just said actually. Because last season I said that I wanted him to be on the run with them, and that would actually be really good. You know, I wish they could dip in and grab him and all three of them get off together. Now I have no idea how we're going to play this and if we're going to have everybody who was in last season in this season. I feel like with this new guy coming in from the FBI, it's a way that they can phase out Bellick and Pope without actually having to do anything to them. Basically, at the start of the episode, he was saying he's not going to give any information to her anymore. And maybe that's just how he actually kind of like moved them, brushed them aside, you know what I mean? Whilst focusing on these, maybe some new characters that get introduced. I don't know, it'll be interesting to see it.
Exhibit A, why you don't let women work in the military, the police force, and especially inside a male prison.
Sounds like it's a little bit more into the escape.
If Tancredi doesn't leave her office door unlocked, those 8 dirtbags will be in a shoe right now.
We have to report to the DOC headquarters. I will meet you there.
Sir, we can get these guys.
We've got to go.
Maybe he gets obsessed and does his own little personal time, you know, spends it all on him.
Updated rap sheet on Apolskus. Take a look when you get a chance.
Oh, Tweener. I'm surprised none of them walked with a head.
Man, I'm so sorry.
Bumped him and stole him. I'd always wear a hat and glasses me all the time.
Don't touch the radio.
Yeah, hi, I'm with the Des Moines Herald. I'm covering the LJ Burroughs hearing. What time's that start today? Thank you. 3 o'clock. Hearing last half hour max. We'll be taking down the transport bay at 10-2 to catch the 4 o'clock van.
Why did these inmates have so much time to dig a hole in the floor of the guards' break room while working prison industries?
I can answer that with all due respect. Since an inmate only gets 19 cents an hour, some are bound to drag their feet.
Is it true you sold the right to run prison industries to the highest bidder?
No.
Oh, Gary's here. Look at that, mate. I voted in the most disliked. It's just his, like, presence. He's so annoying. Look at his face when he come in.
Are you aware of any arrangement Officer Bellick had with any inmate regarding prison industries?
Yeah, he sold it to John Abruzzi.
John Abruzzi. We'll get other CEOs to substantiate this if we have to, Officer Bellick, so I'm giving you one chance to get in front of it. Sell prison industries to John Abruzzi.
Yes. But at no time was
That'll be
aware
all,
of any
Officer
talk.
Bellick.
Hey.
That will be all.
It's going to be absolutely livid. I think Pope's the only one that's actually, like, sound. Do you know what I mean? He's going to do him in outside of prison.
I'm gonna get some coffee.
It's like when your mum and dad don't say anything to you. Do you know, like when they're disappointed with you and they don't say anything and they just leave you to just ponder on your thoughts and you just way worse than it would be if you just got telling off. Do you know what I mean? That's just like that. I suppose I know that like he sold it, but like isn't that bad though, was it? Like he just sold it to people so they could take part. And I know obviously that led to the escape, so obviously you can kind of say that it was his fault in a way, but like it's not as if I don't know, he was taking bribes to benefit them by giving them like contraband and cell phones and food and do you know what I mean? Well, we have seen him kind of like drop Michael in so he got his toes cut off, but do you know what I mean? Like in terms of that whole thing, like scenario, when you look at it, somebody just paying him say 100-200 quid or whatever it was, obviously it sounded like he got a lot anyway, it was just so that they could have more time to technically work and be out of their cell. So I understand that it's wrong and like he shouldn't do it, but it's not as extreme as it sounds, if I'm being honest. Not like Gary, who, like I said, he was taking money, like he was stealing. You know what I mean? Like the difference between that Gary and Bellick, yeah, is that Abruzzi was just giving him money so that he could be out working. Let's be honest, that's what it was. It was PI. They was going around, they was building the construction. This Gary was just stealing, you know, like material objects from people. Do you know what I mean? Stole the watch from Michael, stole again like the watch from Charles. He took the money off C-Note, so his was kind of different.
Good news, sir, is you had the hand iced, so I was able to restore blood flow and...
Oh, blood flow.
Meanwhile, some aspirin will help thin the blood and avoid clotting.
You did one hell of a job, Doc.
You did? But you're getting killed now.
It's okay for you to leave now.
You're not.
I knew that he won. Attack his hand.
Please.
This can go down humanely if you don't fight. But if you pull a stunt like that again, it's gonna get inhumane right quick.
You would ask for a compromise, wouldn't you? You'd say, tie me up, man. Literally. That's what I would do. I'd say, just tie me up. Oh, here we go.
I'm assuming you've heard. I've been doing this 14 years, and most escapes can be attributed to dumb luck or the level of planning and sophistication that went into this one. And 8 guys got out. I really do, professionally speaking. I have a lot of admiration for Lincoln and Michael.
The murder charge they put on my dad, the 2 murder charges they put on me, everything's been a setup coming from way up top.
I'll give you the same advice that you'd get from the guy working at the deli downstairs. Start thinking about yourself now. In fact, the sooner the better, because no one is going to do your time.
Mate, he's not put anything on the table for LJ, though. You literally didn't give him any incentive, like no benefit to turning him over.
Did you rush Sig Ep last semester?
Sig what?
Sig Ep.
Next in line.
How we doing here?
Nothing until tomorrow.
Number is 56437 for the call time with my client.
Hello?
Know who this is?
Yeah. Word is, after this hearing, because of my dad being so high profile, they're shipping me to an adult facility in Kingman, Arizona. Fed came by and talked to me today.
Yeah?
He wanted me to help try and get my dad to turn himself in.
On the 3rd, look out for Otis Wright. Until then, keep your head up.
If you talk to my dad, tell him no matter what, I love him.
What does that mean on the 3rd? Look to the right. Well, that's what I kind of was saying. Well, that's what I thought he said. Look how dusty that car is.
The Indians here, the tomahawk variety, some of them believe that when a warrior kills another, he absorbs that fallen warrior's spirit. So this isn't the end for you, Doc.
I mean, you can't go back now. Once you've injected it, there's no way of extracting it. A bit ruthless on him, though. Do you reckon he's absorbed him, or do you reckon he's just a weight off his shoulders? Do you know what I mean? Do you reckon he's just thinking, thank God, mate, that's just one less thing I have to worry about right now. I just still can't believe that he's potentially got use of that hand again. Imagine that these all reunite at the place. Is it Iowa where he dug the money? And all of them know that it's there, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's a place where they all kind of like regroup accidentally, if that makes sense, because they're all trying to get a bit of the pie, you know, piece of the puzzle, and before they get off on the merry way. But he'll turn up, and then he's obviously got his hand rocking again. He can use it. Maybe he clocks John Abruzzi with it. Do you know what I mean? Once it's fully healed, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? Now, in terms of Abruzzi, I actually want him to get Fibonacci. I do. You know, I mean, not that like I want an innocent man to die in that, but I don't know. He's just always wanted to get him since the show started, and like he's always been put off from it. And I don't know. It's like one of them things. Every time like somebody asks for something and they don't get it, in the end, I want them to get it. You know, not in real life, in the TV show. And it would just be interesting to see it, even if maybe later on down the line, like I said, he kidnaps Michael, and he's like, "Look, mate, you know, I was trying to be nice to you, but I'm taking this guy down, and you know where he is. We're outside these walls now. Nobody's going to stop me from doing more damage to you. I've already cut your toes off. I've got more people. I've got my group. I've got my boys. I've got my family here. You better give me that information." Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be interested to see that down the line, because that's not going to go away. He's going to still be searching for him.
And how are you doing this fine day?
I'm great. How are you?
Couldn't be better.
He knows that they got to go out the back door.
Hey,
We gotta go.
I just need to pay up.
No.
how are you today, officer?
We can make it to the courthouse on foot from here.
You don't understand. Everything is in that car.
Forget the damn car. We don't have time. Come on now, let's go.
He's blending in a bit there, see? At least he's covered his head. Driving home to Utah, so is he car sharing? Is that what it is?
Warden Pope, you'll be docked 2 weeks, placed on 3 months probation. Officer Brad Bellick will be terminated effective immediately. Mr. Bellick, you can retrieve whatever belongings you may have from Fox River. That'll be all.
You know, we could have saved a lot of time if you would have just told us from the beginning that this was going to be a railroad.
That'll be all, Warden.
There is only one person responsible for this escape out there. His name is Michael Schofield. But you're not going to be just taking Officer Bellick's job. It will be a cold day in hell when I turn my back on one of my own men.
He's a top guy, him though. Who's this now? Is this still Teabag? We've not seen Sarah in today's episode.
Oh, from Nick Savrin earlier today. What was that all about?
He's my attorney. That's privileged.
That's odd, because Nick Savrin was found dead in his apartment an hour before that call came into you.
All right, on the 3rd, look out for Otis Wright.
What are you gonna do? Throw another fake murder charge on me?
Who's Otis Wright?
I have no idea.
I think you do.
You actually don't even know though. He was confused if you listen to the rest of that tape. What do you reckon he's gonna do, mate? Like come down on a rope from the ceiling and grab him and pull him out? Imagine. It's tiny though. Does that just mean look to your right? Oh.
Go. Hold on.
Oh, I've got to take the right elevator. That's what it is.
I'll escort the boy.
I mean, how would you figure that out by just staring at it and looking at that event? He didn't even see the name Otis anywhere, or we didn't see him see the name Otis anywhere. And he didn't even, like, see him clock that he was level 3 either. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was, from his point of view, or our point of view of him, they were just going to a random elevator door and just getting in it. But obviously, he figured it out just like that. The guy is smart, though. He actually is.
Keep it in the holster. No one gets hurt. He's coming with us. So just stay cool.
It's a fake gun, though? Oh.
Hey, back off! Back off! Back off! You're not shooting anybody, neither are you. Give yourself up and your kid can walk. Let me go!
I mean, he should have just got in the elevator themselves.
Up there! Schofield is in the building. Take him!
They're just full on back on a police chase again. They're going to get them. Going to have to ditch that car real quick, or that van, whatever.
Yeah, Mom.
He's not going to tell her that he was fired.
What are you doing home so early?
I had to take my personal days, you know, before they went away.
Isn't it funny how people different personalities outside of work or like in the home environment? You know what I mean? He looks like a big softie at home. I don't want him to smash this Taj Mahal up as well. I feel like he's just going to get angry.
Well, I feel very fortunate to have met you.
There you go. It's a reminder of what went down. Do you know what I mean? It'll always be there. I'm gonna go to your steps. Do you know what I mean? Imagine if he still goes to that woman's house.
I need directions.
Where to, sir?
Utah.
Oh yeah, see, they're all going there. Do you know what I mean?
So funny, because I was almost ready to leave when you called. No one else responded. I guess there's not a lot of Utah people out here. So where's your stuff?
I mailed it yesterday.
Never heard of that.
No, you don't want to lug it around. And plus, I got a boy who works for UPS, so we hooked it up.
Bradley?
Yeah, Mom?
They just announced the rewards on the TV.
Oh, is he gonna shoot himself?
The convicts, $100,000 apiece.
A piece?
The animal who killed President Reynolds' brother.
Do they really think that they're gonna be in that vehicle? What a time to pull your knee. Has he been shot? I mean, you've done your best in the time frame that you had, but you should have kind of got in the elevator, in my opinion.
Back to lunch. It's gonna be a long ride to Arizona.
He's bleeding good. Which means they either come to us or they die.
I mean, it didn't look that serious, did it? Look at that, right? That doesn't look like that much blood was on that floor, does it? You see what I mean, right? If you looked at his leg then, I wouldn't say it was grazed. It was definitely... Well, I'm gonna say shot, because that's what they was getting shot at when they got inside of the vehicle. But, you know, his leg doesn't seem to be in that much condition of how much blood was in that vehicle. Like, the guy was saying there, look, mate, there's two options. They come to us because he's in a serious bleeding out condition that he's going to need medical help. Or he's just in a serious bleeding out condition that he's not going to come to us, he's going to die. So, but I don't think he is going to die, not with that puncture anyway. Like, could he not just dig the bullet out? I'm consistent on let's burn things. Burn your wounds, you know what I mean? Like, in these situations, Charles should have burned his wound. He was stabbed. He should have stopped the bleeding by obviously burning the area. This guy, well, Lincoln, should do it as well. Now, again, they went to get LJ. Do you know what, right? I totally forgot that LJ was getting done for the murder of his stepdad and his mum. Now, I always remember that he was caught for potentially looking to kill Killerman. Do you know what I mean? So, like, when he was actually found, it was for trying to kill somebody. And that's always been in my head, you know, like, basically attempted murder. But I forgot that they actually framed him for murder. They put his fingerprints on the weapons, isn't it? And, I still can't believe he's actually going down for that. You know, I would have thought they would have looked at him. Well, to be honest, they're really good at the Secret Service. He made it look absolutely legit. They put his footprints in there. He was like spreading it across the floors and that. And obviously wrapping his fingerprints around the guns. It's mad how you can set somebody up. It really is. But interesting episode 8. Nothing about Sarah. But we had a lot about Bellick and Pope. I actually thought that the way that we was going to do this season is kind of like move away from Fox River because, well, you have to. You know what I mean? If these are on the run, you can't really hold on to the characters of the past who are over there in that location. The reason why they're in that location is because they work there. But now, no more. You know what I mean? Like, I like how Pope actually stood up for Bellick, even though that he knows that he was corrupt. It's kind of like standing behind your brother or your best mate, even though they done something wrong. Or you know when they're lying as well. You know, if you have been in a situation where you know your friend's chatting out their ass, but because of your best mate, you know what I mean, you got to stand there and you got to lie with them. Now, he only got 2 weeks pay deducted and 3-month probation, which means that technically he could have just gone back to work as if nothing really happened to him. His reputation okay, where Bellick's just totally lost his job. He's been obviously fired. He's gone home, looks like he's took it rough, mate, and looked like he's potentially going to shotgun himself and kill himself, which is a bit ruthless. But if you look at it, his mum's just said that a reward's out. 100k for everybody, 300k for Lincoln. That's obviously, well, we know that 8 people have escaped. That's 1 million reward out there. It's going to give him the determination, the motivation to go there. Capture 2 of them, do you know what I mean? 200k, it's probably like 5-6 years salary for him. You know what I mean? So that's worth it. And again, in the US, you can kind of walk around legally with weapons, you know what I mean, and guns, and it's a high chance that if you did find one, you could just pull it out and shoot him like that, do you know what I mean, and drop them pretty much instantly. So we're interested to see him because I thought that we might have phased him out, but now with this story and him being fired and the potential reward, I feel like Bellick could actually be in the season a bit, and I actually think Bellick's decent. I actually do. I feel like he's a good character. I wouldn't have chose to got rid of him if I didn't have to and I could work him into the story like we'd look like we're doing. Now, obviously, if he's moving completely away from Fox River, you would have had to because it wouldn't have made any sense. But now, looks like there's good potential. I'm excited to see, obviously, what we do with them. Okay, that is the second episode of the second season in the bag. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. Very interesting stuff that's actually going on. We have seen everybody kind of go their separate ways. Didn't really see, like, in the episode, we did see a Brute, so we did see Sucre, we did see C-Note, but they've gone their own way. You know what I mean? I gotta go my own way. Literally, what about us? Like, what about everything they've been through? So, like, they've gone to try and get LJ, and obviously they failed. Now, fair play to Lincoln for getting in there, giving him some kind of codes, information, getting in the right lift, coming through the vent, and he could have pulled him out. Their rookie move was that they didn't actually drop down. Now, I know it's obviously kind of like drop down, take one up, take another up. But the fact is, did they really think that this guy was just going to stand there like this, looking in the corner and just letting him climb up and not do anything about it? No, it doesn't make sense. I know that he had a weapon against him. Again, fumbled. You know, he dropped the fake gun on the floor. He realised it. He's grabbed him and, you know, pulled him down. So, I've got to say, fair play. I'd give him an A for effort and like a D for execution. You know what I'm saying? They managed to get in and out. They would have got in and out without being caught until they messed up. So, that was really interesting, and obviously they was willing to potentially get caught as well. I think that it was a bad move going there, but they got away. He's kind of been short. They're kind of getting hunted down, but he's getting hunted down anyway. It's not really massively deviated them off where he was potentially doing it. You know, it might have hindered them a little bit from their, obviously, like, kind of distance they could have covered away from each other. I'd like to see obviously the distance that Sucre and Tino and obviously Abruzzi are making, and if they've gone together, we actually don't know. Do you know what I mean? It seems like everybody's obviously going to congregate in this one area in Iowa. They want to go and get the money. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Charles revealed that it was $5 million there. Everybody heard it, even though Cino was kind of pretending last episode that Michael, when was you going to tell us about this 5 mil? It's like, mate, I didn't have to tell you nothing. You was literally stood in that room, earwigging, listening yourself. I didn't have to tell anybody anything. You already knew. And Trina's shaved his head. He's obviously jumped in a ride. He's gone with this girl who's going there as well. Is it Utah? I called it Iowa. I don't even know. Is it the same place? No idea. He's there, he's going in the car, you know, maybe on the way she finds out who he is as well. They're obviously all over the papers on some billboards. Lincoln was nearly caught today. One thing that does stress me out, and I can't say it enough, and I might sound like a broken record watching it, but it's like they're walking around without the head and face covered. It absolutely does my head in. Obviously, the USA's or whatever, America's Most Wanted Men now, they was all on the news, they're in the papers, you know what I'm saying? And yet they're walking around in broad daylight with no coverage, no camouflage, nothing. At least Michael has put a hat on, and at least Trina, when he went to that university campus, put a hat on as well. But everybody else is just walking around face open, and I don't get it because it's easier to see. You know what I'm saying? So they need to sort that out. They actually do. Now, again, like I said, I'd like to see what's going on with Dr. Changre, is that her name? Sarah. She was getting questioned last episode, but nothing's actually gone from that as well. I want to know if Michael actually makes contact. He might get desperate. He might need her. I want to know how she's going to be utilised this season. I like how T-Bag's actually got his hand back. Mate, committed is when you cut somebody's hand off and then for the next 3 seasons you keep him in the show and you've always got to have the hand cut off. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's committed make up that. And do you know what I mean? And to the storyline, at least we had the oh my god shocking moment, let's put it back on. We kind of just go from there. Do you know what I'm saying? I never knew that you could actually put a hand back on your body, to be honest, and use it and get the tendons back and the feel and the blood flowing. That's mad to me, honestly. It really, really is. He's killed the guy that helped him, which is pretty ruthless. I know that he said that he wouldn't have called anybody. I know from T-Bag's point of view that he wouldn't actually believe it, but technically, you just tied him up. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody, regardless of when it is going to come on and knock on that store the next day. And if nobody actually goes in there, it might be a couple of days, but the same time frame, whether he's tied up or dead on the table, somebody's going to find him. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Now, obviously, the benefit of him dying is you can't identify him, saying a guy with one hand come in and stitched it up. It looks like he's one of the guys from Fox River, because that would be a negative to T-Bag. But by then he could have been far away. Do you know what I mean? He's already got in the car, he's already asked for the location to go, and he's obviously going to meet up with potentially the rest of them. So that's going to be interesting as well. Good start to the season. Enjoying it so far. Hopefully you guys are too. If you did enjoy today's episode, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.